Attention! Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and we are back yet again for another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video. Today comes courtesy of my friends over at Playmates Toys. This is an early look at their upcoming TMNT reissues of the classic Mutant Military Ninja Turtle line, for those of you that remember. For those of you that don't, maybe you want to re-up on some of your accessories here and there. These will be part of the Walmart CollectorCon. They take place March 13th and 14th. I will put the link in the description below, so if you want them, you can pre-order them starting tomorrow. But before you buy, let's take a proper look. So first and foremost, we have Lieutenant Leo. All of these come carded on individual card backs, which is nice. And they're more or less the originals. There are definitely some changes. It is 2025 after all, and it doesn't detract from the original releases, which is nice. The backside shows all the 4 characters, all the reissues that they have coming, and a lot more are coming, and you can read up on old Lieutenant Leo. And here's the barcode. Now, these are coming as a 4-pack for the Walmart CollectorCon event, probably much like they've done in the past with all these other reissues. Later down the road, you'll probably be able to get these individually, but for now, this is the only way to grab them. Like if you want to get Delta Team Dawn, I definitely remember him. You can read up on this wacky Wasteum Warrior. All the alliteration of the old Ninja Turtle figures. And then Raph, the Green Teen Beret. I definitely remember him. Again, there's going to be some parts and pieces missing. We'll compare them with my original ones, but these are just a lot of fun. But the one I did not have, which is really nice to have now, is Navy SEAL Mike. In fact, it's really one of those figures where I go, I don't remember this at all. And that's always fun to get a figure you've never had. So in the meantime, though, this is going to be an absolute blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is an early look at the brand new upcoming reissues of the Mutant Military Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures by Playmates Toys. And just before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who continues to watch my YouTube channel. And if you're new here and would like to subscribe, we'd love to have you. Old toys, new toys, daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you like. So with that, here's everything out of the packaging for roughly 10, 11 bucks and change. You get a figure and you get a ton of accessories, just like the old days, which is always appreciated, especially in this 2025 economy, right? So we'll kick things off with Lieutenant Leo. Now, this is his pizza box blaster. It says Louis G's Pizza. Even as a kid and looking at this weapon, I really had no idea what I was looking at. It looks like a bunch of pizza boxes with a bunch of missiles and then a pipe holding it all together. We also have the tin can launcher. This is interesting. I definitely remember this. I still have the old one. We'll compare it with this, and you crank it, and yeah, it looks cool. You also have the anti-foot flag. Now, in the originals of these, you had an American flag sticker. Now we just have the TMNT sticker. So again, I don't mind the change. It's just nice to have it be different from the originals, along with, they're kind of calling these the 2 bowling ball bombs, which they say stink bombs on them, bowling ball bombs. Sure, why not? They kind of look like kettlebells also. Now, the original figure was one of my favorites, one of those that I definitely remember from the Mutant Military. I didn't have all of them, but I distinctly remember Lieutenant Leo. I remember buying this at Best, for those of you who grew up in California, or perhaps they had them elsewhere, but Best was the place to be. You're going to see mostly the same paint, all the same articulation. He still looks great after all these years. And I have to say, there's really not much of a difference in the feel from the old toys to now these reissues. They are largely the same. Mine's got some schmutz right there on his face, but overall, yeah, it's a solid Lieutenant Leonardo. Now, moving on, because we're going to do this in order and do it proper, and Donatello does machines right after Leonardo leads, so we have Delta Team Dawn. These are his infrared binoculars. I had Delta Team Dawn as a kid, probably from a garage sale, something like that. Never had the accessories, so these are fun to check out. This is the Mutant Minesweeper. Get it? That's a lot of the fun of the old Ninja Turtle toys. The accessories were bonkers, and yeah, that just looks awesome. So the Mutant Minesweeper, along with the Mutant Mayday radio. Now, it's just a radio. There's nothing too crazy. Keep in mind, the original did come with a gun. This one does not come with a gun this time around. It's a Nickelodeon thing. They even do it with NECA toys. No guns for the TMNT. But, like I said, I did have the original Delta Team Dawn, and we'll compare them. But again, this is largely the same figure that I remember. I think there might be a gun holster missing, but as a kid, I had no idea what all these holes for. I thought they were just weapons that you would insert, something like that. No, you get all this camouflage, which is amazing. It plugs into those various holes that are all over the figure. So this is new to me. This is fun. And finally, not to say that I didn't know years and years and years after this, but it's fun to experience this. They even have a little bit of the green on his face. That's really cool. It's all there. Lots of paint apps on this guy. So really no complaints. Again, the feel is there. You got the D on the scarf around his neck. Yeah, overall, this is a solid Donatello. But again, I can't tell you how fun it is to put all the camouflage pieces all over this guy. This is one of my faves from the box. Now, moving on, we have Raph, the green teen beret, the toughest tactical turtle. God, I love the alliteration for these old toys. But this is the plunger puncher. Yes, it is technically a gun, but it's also a plunger gun, so that's how they're getting away with it. I'm glad they didn't eschew that. You also had the flag. Like I said, it used to be an American flag. This is the anti-foot flag that's very similar to Leonardo's. And this is really the best accessory. This is the biting bulldog buddy. I didn't have the accessories for a lot of these except for Leonardo. So again, to have these awesome little sidekick figures, it's just all in yellow, but the sculpting details is there. This is wonderful. As is Raphael. Now, like I said, things have changed for everything. Children, toys, that kind of thing. No, Raphael is not going to have that sculpted gun on his belt anymore. He does, however, have the knife. So, as traditional, you can't have guns, but you can definitely have knives. He has the flag on his shoulder right there. Same exact articulation. For me, it looks to be the exact color green, brown, everything else. So again, this is a nice set to grab. It doesn't impose on anything that's come before. It's completely different. And if you want them, you can pre-order them now. Which leaves us with the one figure out of the four that I've never owned, and it's just going to be another treat to grab. And of course, I'm talking about Navy SEAL Mike. He comes with a pair of grenades, which is always cool. A lot of Michelangelo's accessories are already on him, which is nice to see. Of course, they are removable. But then you have his sewer spear launcher. It's a spear gun, all clad in green. But I gotta say, the figure itself, there's a lot going on, and thankfully, Playmates Toys has already applied the stickers. Stickers are the bane of my existence, so I'm glad that they've done that for me. But you have the turtle textured O2 tanks, the heavier than water weight belts, and you can put the mutant mines or the grenades on his belt. The backpack comes off. It simply pegs into the shell. The belt can come off, all of it. So if you want to just get him down to brass tacks, you can definitely do that. But regardless, it's fun to have an old school Playmates figure now redone for one that I've never have. Everything pieces in. All the pieces are there. That's also a great thing if you're a Playmates Toys collector. Everything pegs in. You can have him holding the grenades. You get the idea. You got the little knife right there, little schmutz right there on the holder, but that's really the only issue. You got one peg hole on the flipper. This is awesome. And I love the face sculpt. I love the tubes, the mask. Heck yeah. Again, this is fun to see. And I just remember as a kid, there were so many different iterations of the Turtles that this one just must have floated right by. Now, to look at the differences of what's come before to what we got now. Yes, largely the old Raphael has the gun on the belt. This one no longer has it sculpted in. As far as the weapons, I never had them, so I can't really compare them, but they look to be the same, minus the flag decal. When it comes to Donatello, this is fun. Now, the newer one seems to have a little bit brighter colors. You can see the gun sculpted into the belt. We've lost that with the new one. Also, he did come with a gun. We've also lost that. But through and through, as a spiritual successor, everything is mostly there, but we live in a different day and age. So that's just the way it goes. Plus, you have to understand, kids, guns, Nickelodeon, they're not going to have that, and it's just the way it is. Now, what I found interesting about Lieutenant Leo, besides the brighter colors on the newer one, which is pretty much a given, mine are probably faded as well, but on the tin can launcher, the original one was a little bit smaller, a lot more compact, which actually made me go, wait, is that the same weapon? Because it kind of looks a little bit different, and it is. It's a little bit different. This one seems to be a little bit more redesigned. Perhaps they lost the old mold. So that's definitely something different. But for the two that I have, especially with the pizza box and everything else, those largely are the same. But you have to think, if they don't have the old molds, they got to redesign them, and that will probably mean larger, bigger type weapons for these guys. But again, what's fun, it was going through my collection and realizing, oh yeah, I totally have some other mutant military figures, from Michelangelo to Bebop and Donatello. These are all figures I've acquired over the years, garage sales, people not wanting their figures anymore, things I've found at thrift stores, something like that. So it's fun to have these and just kind of put them now with my new reissued mutant military figures. So that's going to wrap it up for my early look at the brand new reissued mutant military TMNT figures by Playmates Toys. Again, special thank you to the folks over at Playmates for sending these out for the purposes of this video. If you want a set for yourself, Walmart CollectorCon is the place to be, March 13th and 14th. I'll put a link down in the description below. There's not just Ninja Turtles, there's a ton of stuff, but Playmates wants me to tell you to just buy Ninja Turtles. Wink, 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 wink. No, you can buy whatever you want. So you've heard my thoughts, and now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything mutant military TMNT. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, when it comes to reissues, they never really infringe upon the originals because they don't have the memories of the originals. So keep that in mind. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.